Stay on the path. Things are going to get better. I know they're bad now, but they can only get better. So stay on the path. Kill those monsters. I've been up and down throughout here in the UK with the third lockdown now. Been up and down, and so is my wife and my boys, and I think even the dog gets affected. I lost my job and had to go back to freelancing during a time when freelancers were all just going under. My wife's businesses both tanked. My oldest son went to university and hasn't gone back. We're fairly typical of a lot of people's experience. So we're in the same room 20 hours a day, something like that. We didn't even realize it, but we were like 4 or 5 weeks in, and suddenly we just went, wow, this is really not good. This is not healthy. I tried to keep my exercise up early on, but as things evolved, I gradually let that go, and it was a big mistake. My wife and I did try to go for a walk every day. That was something that we tried to enshrine in law in the house. We will go for a walk every day. It didn't always happen, but it's what we tried to do. Every morning I watch the news just to find out what's going on in the world. And at first I started thinking, this is a mistake. I shouldn't be doing this because it's just going to make me feel bad. It's going to make me feel worse about what I already feel bad about. And then I kind of forgave myself for feeling that way, and I said, well, yeah, but you need to know what's happening. You need to know what's going on. Otherwise you're not going to know if there's another lockdown coming in 2 days' time or something like that. So it's, watching the news is good and bad. The other day my wife said, you're sighing a lot. And I was just walking around the kitchen making breakfast going, will it ever end? But it will end. We have to have some faith in that. We're all working on our computers at home, so we're never getting off our screens. So I think getting off your screen is a good thing to do. The funny thing is, one of the things I really like to do is I like to read, but I have a Kindle. I think the main thing we can all do is to forgive ourselves, and accept ourselves, and accept that we're going to feel these kinds of things, and it's okay. There's a fantastic organization that I'm a patron for called Safe in Our World. It was started and is run by people in the gaming industry, and it's all about mental health. And they have loads and loads of resources on their website for anything you're feeling. You can go on there and you'll find it on there. Anxiety, depression, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, inability to sleep, whatever it happens to be. They're trying to provide resources for people who are suffering. I don't have any statistics on this, but I think that the gaming community probably has a higher representation of mental health issues than some other communities. Again, I have no statistics on that, but I know a lot of people in games. I've been to a lot of conventions, met a lot of gamers, met a lot of game developers, and the number of people who are dealing with some kind of mental health issue is just astonishing. And one of the things they often want to tell me is how important playing The Witcher was to their mental health at a time when it was really, really critical. So I know how important games can be to people's effort to take care of themselves. I was out in the car for some reason and I was listening to Radio 4, and they had this program on where they were talking about exactly this, and they had people who had been avid gamers, and they had some people who had only really gotten into games during the pandemic. All these people were saying how incredibly important it was that they had that social platform, and a number of them were men, and some of those guys were saying, actually, I get on with my co-players and I can talk about how I'm feeling. I can talk about, whether I've had a good day or a bad day and why, something that happened with work or because of work or whatever that made me feel bad. And I can talk to these guys about how I'm feeling. where guys often bottle things up, they were finding these social gaming platforms an opportunity to open up. And I think that was illustrative of exactly the power that gaming can have. If I were in charge of what Geralt had to say, he would say something like, "Stay on the path. Things are going to get better. I know they're bad now, but they can only get better. So stay on the path. Kill those monsters. See ya."